Hi guys, Amber here with Dollskin.
Hi.
Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Yeah.
How are you today?
A little sweaty.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, what has your experience been with the deaf community being involved in music or shows, whether it's Dollskin or just in general?
One of the coolest things, we have someone in Nebraska, or no, there's someone that's come up to our shows before, like after the show, and been like talking through their interpreter or whatever, whoever they brought that can communicate with us, and mentions that like they really liked our show and like could feel how fun the music was, which was really cool. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I love it.
I've seen it at like Work Tour too.
Yeah, seeing as it is with their interpreter on stage was really cool. Yeah, that was
Yeah, because like bass and music can like, they can feel it through the floorboards, and then the interpreter just kind of adds the language to what they feel. So captioning is a big part of inclusive content away from live settings. What are ways you guys have gone about it or could?
We should.
Yeah, we haven't, like, it's not something we've ever really brought up to our label before. I know our label works with Confidence, who, like, they did an entire video where they were signing, which was so cool to see, because I was like, what band has done that?
Yeah.
But that's definitely something we do need to work towards, is, like, captioning all of our videos so that everybody can enjoy it, everybody can listen to our music, not just people that can hear, but everybody.
It's interesting because like I've never really thought about that, you know, like because it doesn't cross my mind a lot being not deaf and not knowing anyone personally that's deaf or anything. I didn't really think about that, but that is something that would be important to try to include for sure.
Yeah, because with YouTube especially, they have auto captioning and it doesn't pick up music at all. Adding the normal captions helps, gives access to your videos.
Yeah.
And then there's agencies that will do it for you. Like Rev is like $1 a minute or something.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, not at all. Especially for like a 3-minute, 4-minute video.
Yeah.
And it does everything for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Definitely look at it.
As ASL is a visual language, are there ways you, as a band, have tried to visually portray music in a live setting? Any ways from like lighting or the way you move your body or anything like that?
You just try to rock out as much as possible.
I think Sydney's good with it. Sometimes I see you, like, performing live and you'll do hand motions that match with the lyrics in the song.
Yeah, I try to. I've always been a huge believer in like portraying. Like I took theater when I went to art school, and so like I try to be as like theatrical with what I do with my hands. A lot of our music, like Love Has Done Me Killed Her, there is like the imagery where it's like, did you know I'm a killer? And so I'll kind of like, you know, make a gun motion or something like that. Like I'll try to
every night.
I'll try to like sacrifice. I don't know. I try to make it as visual as it is sound wise, because it's like, I don't know. I never really thought about it in the sense that kind of makes it cool for people that might not be able to hear, but like I would honestly love to like look into more like signs so that like I can portray it in that way as well, because it is very visual as well, which is really cool.
It's important for people to know that it's not just like an entertainment thing, it's like a language, and that's why people do it, so music has the access.
Yeah.
So you guys are very open about stigmas in the music industry, and similarly there's a stigma around deaf fans of music. What are ways you think bands, or you in particular, could go about breaking those stigmas?
I feel like
Being more accommodating.
and just like including, like doing your best to include, whether it's just online or it's in live performances, like as it is, like including an accommodating like kind of the deaf fans and stuff, and getting a person to sign and everything like that. Like it's such a big thing, but it's like it should be more normal. You know?
I think like being aware about it too, and talking about it and informing other people, because like you're bringing up things that we've never thought about before, and if we've never thought about them before, I'm sure there's so many other bands that have never thought about them before. Just because nobody's really like, you're beginning to bring the conversation, but it's not like a huge conversation right now. Like not everybody's talking about it. There's like definitely pockets of bands that are like, hey, we want to be more inclusive to our fans, but not everybody's aware of it.
Yeah.
And so just the more you talk about it, the more you're open about it, and the more you're like, this is something you want to do, the more it's normalized.
Yeah, it should be a more normal thing.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Because I remember over the summer I like did interviews, but not like through management. I just like, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
And when I talked to Patti, he said the same things, like, I don't know why we're not doing this.
Yeah, it's,
and then they did.
Because it makes sense. It makes sense. It, like, it's not something that's like controversial or anything like that, but once you do it, once you like are aware of it, and once you do like put some effort in, it's like, oh, this is making it so much easier to reach so many fans.
And it's not like...
Plus it grows your fan base, because once you accommodate one deaf fan, they're like, oh, well, if they can accommodate this show, they can accommodate the show where I live, and I can actually go to shows now.
Yeah, exactly, which like, music is so amazing, even just in like a visual sense and in like a feeling sense, so it's like, as someone that isn't, you know, hard of hearing or deaf or anything like that, it's like I get just as much from feeling a show than just listening to a music, you know, like I personally love live shows more than just listening to music at home, and so it's like to make that an experience that a deaf person can enjoy even more than just feeling the show, like that would be, I don't know, really cool. It makes sense.
Yeah. Shows, I feel like, are very emotional for people no matter what band, but I feel like being in the live environment has a different kind of environment almost than sitting in your room and listening to it.
It makes people feel things. It's like, without touching anyone, like you could make them feel an emotion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when creating your music, or even when you think of your music, what do you visualize?
I usually
lots of colors.
Yeah, lots of.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I remember we had a fan that had drawn up a bunch of different like flash sheets, and she was like, "Oh yeah, your lyrics are just so easy to like put images to them because like they're so colorful." I feel like that's
it's funny. I get like almost to the point of being annoying of in your face of like there has to be imagery because like if you're not like picturing anything, you're not getting put in a place where you can like, you know, just be relaxed and like explore this song, you know, and I get like inspired by the most random things, and I'll try to be as detailed as I can with it. And I feel like if I've accomplished that, if I made it, like, you know, if a fan does a drawing or something like that, and they're like, okay, I've done my job right, you know?
Yeah. That had to be the coolest thing ever when she was like, yeah, like it's really easy to make art for your guys' album because it's so full of imagery.
And I was
that
like,
was really cool.
oh,
Yeah.
like
I was, yeah.
Thanks.
But we were really focused on colors this album, specifically like red,
Like
orange,
deep
yellow, black, gray, stuff like that. Like that was kind of like the overall.
a lot of the
theme
songs
it.
have like a red feeling to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
I
the
definitely
soundtrack.
get that.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I'm glad it's coming across.
Yeah.
They sound red. What? I know they do.
They do.
But yeah, I don't, imagery is really important in this album, for sure.
Yeah, it's funny you say color because I just interviewed 2 other people and they both said color too. Like I just did Broadside and Pat said color.
Yeah.
And I love them.
I love them.
I feel like that's a really popular thing in the music industry, like to focus on a color, because it, makes branding really easy, because once you figure out what color, you know, the music is, like, you can kind of, like, if you brand everything around that, like, it all makes sense, it all fits together, I feel like a lot of our merch fits really well with the sound of our new album, I think, which is cool.
Okay, this one I want you guys to really think about, Say, hypothetically, you woke up one day you were deaf or hard of hearing, what would you do and what would your reaction be?
I would never stop crying for like a week. Because like I've always said like one of my biggest fears is like waking up and being deaf, because like music is my whole entire existence.
Yeah.
And my job is related around music.
And like your identity too.
Like this is my job, but my job at home is related around music, and I that's why I'm so obsessed with ear protection, because I'm just like I can't lose this in any way, shape, or form. Like it would just rock my world in the worst way possible.
I feel like living most of my whole life being hearing and not being hard of hearing at all, other than I think one of my ears is more hard of hearing than the other. It would be like the hardest thing ever to adjust. Especially because I wanted to learn ASL like forever ago, and I tried and I got really frustrated really quick. But it wasn't a necessity, you know, it wasn't a necessity for me to learn it yet, which I still want to learn it, but I just, it's so hard for me to learn a new language, let alone something that has to do with my hands. But I feel like, oh my god, that would be, especially like being a singer, like you can't like feel, like with instruments you can like look, it has like a thing that like you can find what note you're playing. But with vocals, like you can't like, on a tuner or anything, you can't like see what note you're playing or note you're singing.
That's hard. I feel like I think I would definitely mourn the loss of my hearing, but I think if I had to lose a sense, I would not choose.
Yeah.
But like, I think being deaf would be, I don't know, like not the easiest, but I feel like the deaf community is like a very strong community, and I feel like it would not be as scary because I feel like I wouldn't be alone. I feel like I would lose my hearing, but then there's like so many resources. I feel like there's I don't know.
So many things you could do other like
to accommodate for that. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about that before. I think it would definitely be scary though as a musician to not be able to hear things because we depend so hard on hearing. Like,
that's all it is. All it really is. Hearing stuff.
Like on stage, sometimes I'm like, ooh, I can tell I hit a wrong note, not because like I can feel it, but I'm like, oh I hit a wrong note.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't hear, I'd have to be like looking all the time at my hands and being like, you can't hit a wrong note because you can't hear.
I feel like my very first reaction, because the first thing I thought about was when you asked that question. If you woke up deaf, I thought of the current bass player for the Grateful Dead. I don't think he's hard of hearing, but he plays barefoot and has this specialized mat under him. I don't know what it's connected to or how it picks up vibrations, but he feels his bass, like physically. That was just the first thing I thought about. I would immediately try to explore something like that, and then looking at this crazy room, I was thinking I would really spend a lot of time what's the word?
Diving into looking at things.
Indulging my sight.
Yeah.
Because this room is so nuts. I'm like, if it was totally silent and I couldn't hear anything, this would be
a room to be in.
Entertaining. But that was my first thought.
Definitely.
And there's also an artist that went hard of hearing. I think it was later in life. Her name is Mandy Harvey. She was on one of the singing shows. I don't remember which, and she plays barefoot, but she can still sing because she has the muscle memory.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would get really insecure because I wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying, what I'm sounding like. I don't know. I'd be really like worried.
Yeah, you definitely adjust because, like you said, the deaf community is so strong, and if you reach out, they will help you readjust yourself.
Which is comforting for sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it would just definitely like take a minute to get over, the shock. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. It's definitely like when you're talking about how like strong the deaf community is. I was thinking about it. I was like, it really is. Like it's really like it's huge because it's like it's something you literally can't help. So it's like everyone's just so like welcoming and helpful and
Oh
everything.
yeah, you just have to reach out.
Exactly.
Since sign language is a visual language, what is a band that has drawn your attention that uses visuals to their advantage to be inclusive or create a visual story?
Like a romance.
I want to mention the Grateful Dead again.
I was gonna go ahead.
That was like
cool.
visuals like I've never even like tried to imagine. It was like it was a whole nother part of the show that if you took it away, it would. I don't know.
That's
I feel
true.
like I'm too young to have an opinion on the
Definitely
Grateful
not.
Dead.
They're still playing around.
But regardless,
Yeah.
Taylor
incredible.
Swift. I saw Taylor Swift's show when I was 13, and she did like 20 outfit changes, and each song had a different like theme and set. It was like a theater show. If you took away the music, it was literally like a performance visually. It was.
That makes me think of Avatar.
That makes me think of, yeah.
I think of Lady Gaga. It took me a second. I was like, I know there's someone. But then when you mentioned Taylor Swift, I was like, Gaga. But she just kind of really, she is an actress as well, and so she's like really big on acting things, other than just performing it. Like she's like acting everything out, and all of her videos, her whole career has been super just like in your face and flashy, and it's like when you take a step back and look at her live performances and like look deeper into the videos, like she is really visual about everything. Like her outfits have meaning, her like everything has like a purpose in all of her work. It's cool.
Yeah.
What are ways you would like to see the scene move forward to being more inclusive?
Normalizing being inclusive is just such a big, important thing.
I feel like so many people are like, oh, it's such a burden to be inclusive, and it's like, well, that's because you're just included in everything already.
Yeah.
And so
you don't have to
think of somebody other than yourself, and you have to realize, like, if I want this to be fun and safe and enjoyable for everybody, not just me and, like, my type of person, then you have to, like, it's not even work, it's just you have to think about it more.
Yeah. And not even, like, a lot. Like, you just think about it and you're like, wow, there's so many communities that, like, are not being included in this certain thing that I'm doing because of this certain, like,
because
whatever.
of how it's been done for so long.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to see more interpreters at venues.
I think that'd be sick. Yeah, each venue have an in-house interpreter.
Yeah, I've really only seen that like, oh, this person works for the venue. Not like, oh, the band brought them out, or they're here for like, a group of specific people. It's like, oh yeah, this interpreter works for the venue. Like,
yeah, it'd be great to see venues
awesome.
like take a hand in that, because it's like definitely as like we are the first of 4 on a tour, and I don't know how well that would go over for like we have an interpreter. Like I feel like hopefully it would go over well, but at the same time like there's a lot of things we don't control. So there's totally the possibility of it not being allowed or something. So I feel like if a venue's got it and they just are like, here is an option for you.
Yeah,
that would be really
incredible.
awesome.
Or like, pair someone like that with like, lyrics on the screens, or even like, I don't know, some venues already do like, light visuals that go with the music, but I don't know, if that was all kind of tied into one really helpful package.
Yeah. It just needs to be normalized. Like I feel like it's not that anyone's like against it. It's just that like people just don't think about it. Like
people think it's an inconvenience.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, having to get someone to come out. Oh my god, like it's really I don't know.
Think about if you needed an interpreter to enjoy a show. Like, duh, you would want that. But just because you don't need an interpreter to enjoy a show, you're like,
you don't think about it.
Why would we do that?
Why would we do
You
that?
do want anybody and everybody who can come to a show to go to a show.
Yeah. Yeah, like they already make venues most of the time like easy to get in for people on wheelchairs. Like, they have like,
very specific seating in some.
Yeah,
a lot of House of Blueses have like very accommodating specific seats.
Yeah, and so it's like, what's stopping us from being inclusive to people that can't hear? Like, what's stopping us?
Strobe lights.
Like,
let's get rid of that.
No more strobes.
I don't know if that's related, but like,
that's just another thing.
Yeah, that's just another one.
I mean,
You've got epilepsy.
Because epilepsy.
All of a
and
sudden,
if you're deaf and you're trying to focus on the interpreter and it's going,
yeah,
because then you can't see. You can't see what
the
she's
interpreter,
doing.
and you just see strobe lights and you miss everything.
and
Yeah.
you think,
And you're
you know
like,
what,
oh,
this
no.
is giving me a freaking headache.
Yeah.
I close my eyes whenever I
Me too.
I was like, I can't do it.
Like, you guys are really just trying to hurt us.
I have a friend that she, like, I used to work with her when I worked at Zoomies, and she was like, yeah, I can't go to concerts because they might use strobes. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, what if
they
we just
might.
deleted strobes and then everybody could go? Oh my gosh, imagine that. We've gone up to venues and they've got a sign that's like, yes, strobe lights will be used, and yes, it will be fucking awesome. And it's like, to who? Who likes strobe lights anymore?
It hurts.
It hurts my eyes.
Exactly, like even someone that's not photosensitive at all, like I'm like, I don't
Oh
want
my god,
that.
I remember one time they were testing out strobes for a venue. We were like sound checking, and it was our entire sound check, they were doing strobe lights. And even while I was closing my eyes, I could still feel it, and it was so painful.
It sucks.
Strobe lights.
Yeah.
Ban that! Seriously.
It is unnecessary.
It's like an easy thing to
you
make
can just
everything
slip
acceptable.
around it, make the little lights go like this a couple times, and it's fun. It's fun. Like,
Or you can have like a video wall.
yeah, just something cool. Like it doesn't need to be
That's
just
not a
these
strobe.
extreme strobes that like take up the whole room, because it's almost never. It's just like a little strobe in the corner. Like, because if it's strobing in the corner, the whole stage is strobing. Like it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, like I've seen bands start using video walls that like almost have the same effect without being painful.
Yeah.
It'll like, because sometimes strobe lights will be like to show the movement of the music.
Yeah.
But a video wall can do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely better ways to show the effects of the music without using strobes that can be painful to even people that aren't even photosensitive. Like,
And like taking the sound waves and putting them on a video
That's
wall.
interesting.
That's a really cool concept. Just real quick, I saw this artist, and who she has synesthesia and made art based on like the music she was listening to, and it was like really cool to see like the colors flow into other colors like based on how the music moved. And it normally like starts as one color up in the corner, goes to another color because like the bridge and everything, and then goes back to the first color, because a lot of times that's the pattern that a lot of music goes through. Is it starts out the same, changes through the bridge, and then goes back to the beginning. Which I thought was really cool. So it's like being able to like visualize that is really cool, and I feel like you could do a lot with that in video sense.
Oh, there's so many things now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
Who do we talk to? Who do we talk to?
Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll put the links to everything in the description. If you haven't checked out Dalskin, their new album is out now.
Yay! Love is dead, we killed her.
Do you guys want to add anything?
Check it out.
Thanks, Annie.
Check out the new album. I'll put all the links in the description. I'll catch you guys at the next one.